with the top time of 10:31.46, leading as we are coming down the front straight. Thayer Central holding into third. Of course, we're running today instead of Saturday, when if you were not outside in the state of Nebraska, you would have been blown away. 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts and cold. I had a sprinkle every now and then here. It was just not a real conducive day to having a good track meet. So the coaches of the Southern Nebraska Conference got together and said, let's try this again on Monday. Of course, that also means this is the junior high SNC Track meet. That's going on in Sutton today. So we've got track kids all over the state. And track meets that have been postponed and rescheduled and all sorts of stuff, kind of no matter where you are in the state, those are coming through. So coming to the front stretch and getting ready for the first handoff of the 3,200-meter relay. This is Superior with the lead. Fairbury is running second in the white and black. Then Thayer Central in the black and gold. Fillmore Central in the all black, making a strong charge here at the end of this first leg. Milford, and then following them, Centennial and David City. But handoffs, number one, going through Superior out in front. Fillmore Central has moved up into second place, followed by Fairbury, then Thayer Central running 2, 3, 4. Milford currently in fifth. A little bit of the schedule of the day today. So we were supposed to start all of the running events on Saturday and finish them all on Saturday is what we were supposed to do, of course. But like we said, the weather and Mother Nature had other plans. So we are starting with essentially the same schedule as what we were going to do on Saturday, the difference being the break. They had a scheduled break between the final prelim, which would be the 200-meter dash, and the first of the finals of the sprints anyway, with the 100-meter hurdles. Previously, that had been scheduled for about a 45-minute break. I was told that today we're going to take that break down to about 10 minutes or so, basically just to double-check long enough to make sure that we've got everybody ready to go for the finals events and then roll right into them. So should be done hopefully before 5:30 p.m., which is when they were scheduled to start the 4x4 relays if we were on Saturday's schedule. So hopefully running things pretty much straight through. Also with the change in day, that has allowed us to actually begin for the first time really, the pole vault. So the boys are actually pole vaulting right now off the south end of the track. As we take a look at Superior's squad, a seed time of 10:31.46. Your fastest time of seeds coming in. Thayer Central with the second fastest seed time of 10:37, then a 10:38 for Fairbury and a 10:39 for Fillmore Central, and Milford a 10:41 seed time. So 2, 3, really first through fifth, all with really close seed times coming into today's race. So we're going to see who likes running in the sunshine, but also in the wind as well. Wind out of the north at around 20 miles an hour. The good news is at least it's fairly consistent. Bad news is it's still 20 miles an hour. This is Superior on the front stretch, about to make the second handoff to the third leg. Fillmore Central second, Fairbury third. Your top three here on the track is the handoff down there towards turn one for Superior. Fillmore Central, here comes Fairbury. A bit behind there is Thayer Central. Milford taking off as well. Centennial and David City still to hand off. Superior, though, looking strong there on the backstretch. I don't have any names listed for the Superior squad, but I can tell you that the third runner for Fillmore Central is Jackie Shelkoff, Abby Nichols is set to be the anchor leg. And if I told you that Macy Scott was the second leg and Jordan Broman was the first leg, you'd say, well, those are all the pretty good ones from basketball too. Yep, that's all 4 of those. Fairbury currently with Alyssa York on the carry. And for Thayer Central, that's Elena Fangmeyer on the carry for the Titans. So David City coming to the line to make the final handoff, but it is Superior and Fillmore Central out strong, those two, with about 15 or 20 meters between them. Superior with the lead, Fillmore Central second, and now Fairbury coming in third right in front of the press box here. But you can see the gap between Superior and Fillmore Central for first and second. Thayer Central fourth and Milford in fifth currently. Also throughout the day today, we will be giving you video highlights and results from the field events that were completed on Saturday. Again, the only field event that wasn't contested on Saturday was the pole vault. That decision was made early in the day, well before they made the decision to postpone the running. So by postponing the running, the pole vaulters were able to try it out this morning, and they said, yep, let's give it a go. So pole vault is happening for today. Over there on the backstretch with about 200 meters to go, Jackie Shelkoff makes a pass for Fillmore Central, and the Panthers have taken the lead in the girls' 3,200-meter relay here. This is the second lap of the third leg, so Shelkoff will be handing it off momentarily to Abby Nichols. But Shelkoff with a nice, strong finish as she comes down the front stretch. Superior in second. The girl she's racing right now, David City, is actually a full lap behind now. So Abby Nichols will take the final handoff here, and Fillmore Central is out front in the girls' 3,200 meters. That second handoff there for Superior. Fairbury, Thayer Central, and Milford will be third, fourth, and fifth coming. Fairbury and Thayer Central just a step between them. So Abby Nichols for Fillmore Central trying to stride out on the backstretch, but Superior, and again, I don't have a name there, giving chase and that gap closing as they go down the backstretch. Very much with the wind, so it will be interesting to see how all of the runners in the distance races especially, how do they handle that 20-mile-an-hour tailwind one side and headwind when they come down the front stretch. So Superior now right on the heels of Fillmore Central. This is the final leg of the girls' 3,200. They will have a whole lap to go, plus this final 100 meters. Superior has taken the lead. Nichols will try to give chase as they come down the front straightaway. They have put some good separation, first and second has, between themselves and third place, which is Fairbury, and Thayer Central in fourth place. This is a strong leg, though, for the Wildcats. The Wildcats of Superior on the backstretch, a little over 200 meters away from a victory in the 3,200. Fillmore Central with Abby Nichols on the anchor leg, currently second, followed by Fairbury. Their anchor leg is Makasa Learman. And Thayer Central's Caitlin Richardson currently running in fourth. But this is Superior on the front stretch. And a nice finish here. Wildcats were second when this fourth leg handed off, but it will be a victory for the Superior Wildcats and the girls' 3,200 coming to the finish line. Again, Centennial goes a full lap down. Coming across second here momentarily, if we can get the camera on her, is going to be Abby Nichols. Nope, that's third place. But we're going to see Fillmore Central and Abby Nichols finish in second. In third will be Fairbury. In fourth, Thayer Central. And in fifth, Fillmore Central. In fifth, coming across here in just a few moments, will be Milford. And like we said, David City is yet to go a full another lap, and then Centennial will be done. They've got about 300 meters to go on their side. While we have some time, we can check out our results from Saturday on the girls' long jump. In the girls' triple jump, we have Thayer Central's Madison Williams went 30 feet 11 3/4 of an inch. Back to back, though, in fifth and fourth was Jenna Hines and Caitlin Rempe of Sandy Creek. I'm sorry, I don't know which one is which, but we've got video of both, so you get to see both of their jumps. In third place, Wilbur Claytonia's Aline Savannavong, 33 feet 11 3/4 of an inch, and a smile to go with it. In second place, Centennial's Lily Cast went 34 feet 9.5 inches, but it was Kate Hirschfeld, her teammate, who went 34.10 for the SNC Championship. So Hirschfeld actually got the win in the triple jump. We'll work on our long jump video. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll get that to you here momentarily. As the girls' 3,200-meter relay and David City, the final team to cross, is going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. That helps us set the field for the boys' 4x800-meter relay. In lane 1, it will be David City. Lane 2, Fairbury. Lane 3, Centennial. Lane 4, Sutton. They have your second-best seed time coming in lane 5, Thayer Central with an 8:29. They will have your number 1 seed time coming into the race. Wilbur Claytonia in lane 6. Fillmore Central will be in lane 7. Milford in lane 8. And then back in the first lane again, I believe, is they will put Sandy Creek in lane 9, as it is listed on the seed sheet, actually. So the guys getting set.
After the race, you have to announce hurdle setters.
Hurdle setters, please move the hurdles.
Yep.
Please move the hurdles.
You have to say that cliche thing.
We're just chilling here.
The trailer. Yeah, we don't know a lot about anything, so.
So the boys 4x8 is underway. Again, Thayer Central, your fastest seed time, the team of Trey Fisher, Dylan Fisher, Keegan Casey, and Zach Koss. They have an 8:29 seed time. Wilbur Claytonia, the second fastest seed time at 8:35, followed by Sutton with an 8:39. So we'll kind of keep an eye on a little bit of a clock here in the booth anyway. And again, trying to see how everyone's going to fare with the wind today. Out of the north and northwest just a touch means you've got a great tailwind going down the backstretch, and you've got a strong headwind coming down the front. So opportunities to see how strong everybody can run and in the pack or not in the pack. First lap, Thayer Central leads that pack at just barely over a minute, about a 1:02 on that first lap as they round that curve. And then the opportunity to put the sails up and fly down the back. Trey Fisher listed as the first runner for Thayer Central. Sutton and Seth George listed first for the Mustangs as they round the south curve, followed by Fillmore Central. That is D. Maysel. But this is Thayer Central with Trey Fisher, the first runner listed for the Titans, and making the handoff here. It'll be Thayer Central first, Fillmore Central second, Sutton in third, Wilbur Claytonia fourth, Milford in fifth, Centennial in sixth.
Results from the girls' long jump.
Fairbury seventh,
Sixth place from Thayer Central.
David City getting a handoff here in eighth, and Sandy Creek will be rounding out your field, getting a handoff in ninth in just a few moments. So by the seed mark, Dylan Fisher, the second leg for Thayer Central as he coasts around and now will hit that headwind as they hit the front stretch.
Yeah, it was supposed to be final for 100, but it is what it is.
Fisher looking strong. Fillmore Central running second with Garrett Nichols. Wilbur Claytonia currently third with Dawson Hoover. Excuse me, that is Sutton in second. I beg your pardon. Quentin Jones of Sutton second on the leg. Fillmore Central is fourth. So I had the all-black uniforms switched around. Front stretch here and about to hand off for the third leg. Thayer Central going to give it to Keegan Casey from Dylan Fisher here momentarily. 4:11 as they hand it off to the third leg. Wilbur Claytonia has moved up into second. Seth Vlasic takes the handoff. Sutton currently in third. Wyatt Bergen now on the carry. Then it's Fillmore Central with Hunter Verheg as the third runner. Third leg handoffs right now. And Thayer Central about to put a lap down on Sandy Creek. Seems like it doesn't matter the year. Thayer Central's got some good 800 runners, and they parlay that into a really good 4x800. This year looks to be more of the same. Keegan Casey finishing up his first lap, head down as he trucks his way into the wind. Hoping to have that wind die down as he crosses that line with a lap to go three laps to go actually, at 5:12.
In third place, Fairbury. In second,
Sutton coming across the line.
and the winner with a time of 10 minutes, 42 seconds, Superior.
at about 5:25 as they crossed. And again, this is the second lap now of the third leg, so anchor leg still to come for the 3,200-meter relay. Next event on the track will be prelims from the 100 and 110 hurdles. Then we'll have prelims for the 100-meter dash as well. Then we will get back to finals for the 400 and the 3,200 before we wrap up our pre-break schedule with prelims for the 200-meter dash. So again, down the front stretch, Thayer Central with a nice lead. Keegan Casey about to hand it off to Zach Koss. Handoff comes at about 6:25. Wilbur Claytonia making the handoff there. That's Tommy Loken now on the carry. Sutton in third. That is Cade Wiseman. Cade just a sophomore, but he is very active in every sport he participates in. Will be a fun athlete to watch in the SNC for the next couple of years. Thayer Central had a seed time of 8:29.23. And Zach Koss, at least on my sheets, with a strong look at that, as he is about to come to the gun lap. And he will begin the lap at 7:26 unofficially on the stopwatch on my phone. It's pretty close, though. Wilbur Claytonia running second. That's Tommy Loken, followed by Sutton's Cade Wiseman in third. Fourth place is currently Fillmore Central. That's Isaiah Lobby that is still just a little bit away from crossing the line. There he goes. But we have already caught up. You see that's the gap between first and fourth, almost exactly a half a lap. Thayer Central running away with this one, just trying to improve on their time. Again, the seed time was 8:29.23. And unofficially, with a little over 100 meters to go, 8:16, 17, 18. So still, even with the good head and tailwind, it's going to be a pretty decent time for Thayer Central. As Koss comes down, and he is a finish at about 8:34. So still a really nice time. Wilbur Claytonia is going to come home in second with Tommy Loken on the finish, followed by Sutton in third with Cade Wiseman. And as they finish, as Wiseman finished, fourth place is Fillmore Central. Still 100 meters had to go. There's Isaiah Lobby.
When I get done with them, I'll just put them back here if you need them. So I've got all the field events already typed up for Saturday.
Okay.
So finishing things up in the boys 4x800 relay.
So after this race, then you make final call for 110. So after this race, you make.
As Fairbury comes down the front stretch. For their final time. So we can go back and we can check in with our results again from Saturday. We'll check out the girls' discus throw. In the girls' discus, seventh place, but not pictured, was Rhiannon Shaner of Fillmore Central. Went 95.9 in the second flight, but all the rest in the third flight, including Keisha Solomon of Thayer Central and Cassandra Herget of Thayer Central, back-to-back in sixth and fifth. Fourth place went to Milford Sydney Bontrager, just saw her, 110.10. Emily Welch of Thayer Central was third in 110.11. Second placed
Shayla Meyer for Superior, 119 feet 5 inches. And your winning toss was Sarah Huss of Fairbury, 132 feet 4 inches for Sarah.
A little delay on coming back, but again, that was the discus throw that happened on Saturday, and one name that we did not say, of course, was Kaylin Meyer from Superior. We saw Shayla, the freshman, and the fourth of the girls. But Kaylin was actually, I believe, in Texas playing AAU volleyball over the weekend, so did not get to compete, and, of course, schedule being what it was, now she could have, if we would have been throwing the discus in the shot today, she would have been your overwhelming favorite. But maybe she'll practice and we can still sneak over there and watch today. But it would have been a perfect day to throw your good discus. No matter what distance you normally throw, going into the wind is actually usually a helpful thing. The better thrower you are, the more you like a little bit of that headwind coming at you. So next event on the track as they get things set up will be the prelims for the 100 and then the 110-meter high hurdles before we get into more prelims for the 100-meter dash a little bit later on as well. Scheduled for one of 3 heat races coming up here. So lane 1 of this heat race will be Heartland's Ashley Brown. Lane 2, Claire Thompson of Wilbur-Claytonia. Lane 3, J.L. Johnson of Fairbury. Kylie Baumert of Sutton in lane 4. Kate Grease of Sutton in lane 5. Nevaeh Honea of Wilbur-Claytonia in 6. And Lily Eichmeyer of David City in lane 7. That is the scheduled lanes.
The very first hurdle from the start and the second lane is a level lower than the rest.
Look at the hurdle. Yeah,
there we go.
Somebody.
Tell them we're Gucci gang.
That would have thrown me off.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody would have noticed.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
And while we have a little more time, why don't we try our long jump again, see if that works again. The girls' long jump from Saturday. Okay. All right. Well, we will check in here again momentarily with the prelims of the 100-meter hurdles for the girls. Again, this is heat 1 of 3. In lane 1, Ashley Brown of Heartland. Lane 2, Claire Thompson of Wilbur-Claytonia. Lane 3, J.L. Johnson of Fairbury. Lane 4 is Kylie Baumert of Sutton. Lane 5, Kate Grease of Sutton. Lane 6, Nevaeh Honea of Wilbur-Claytonia, and Lily Eichmeyer of David City in lane 7. But it is Sutton with Baumert in 4, Grease in 5, and it will be Grease in lane 5. Well, nope. And as soon as I say that, down she goes, and it will be Kylie Baumert of Sutton, your heat race winner in the first of 3 heats for the 100 hurdles.
Results from the boys high jump. We have a three-way tie for fifth between Walker from Milford, Bargan from Centennial, and Milta from Sandy Creek. And fourth from Wilbur Claytonia was Combs. And third from Fairbury, Starr. And second from Sutton, George. And the winner of the boys high jump from Milford with a jump of 6 feet, Logan Horsley.
So heat 2 of 3 for the 100 hurdles for the girls. Lane 1 will be Ashley Klein of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 2, Madeline Wells of Thayer Central. Lane 3, Jamie Manns of Fairbury. Lane 4, Macy Swoboda of David City. Lane 5, Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial. Lane 6, Cassidy Siebert of Heartland. Lane 7, Destiny Hofaker of Sutton.
I haven't been told anything yet, so. No, I can't hear you. I guess we're supposed to move hurdles.
They have them set wrong.
Yeah, they had. I think that one row was set wrong. So they got to rerun the race. Yeah.
Might be on us.
No, it's not. It's on them down there.
Thank goodness it wasn't.
We told them.
Wait, was
I
it on the
suppose
wrong
you-
knot?
Looks like heat 1 is going to have to go again, folks. We had, I believe we had a row of hurdles that was set on the incorrect mark on the track, putting everything backwards.
Can you hear me?
So it looks like heat 1 is going to try this again. They might give them a little break, though, so we might continue on with heat 2 and 3 and then maybe come back to 1. We'll see what happens. Because it looks like they do still have heat 2 nearly ready in the blocks. Well, that's good news. If you're Kate Grease, she was leading that race until she stumbled over the second to last hurdle, so she will get another crack at it. But in the meantime, heat 2 is going into the blocks.
Yeah, no. They obviously can't.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, here comes the.
Lane 4, Macy Swoboda of David City. Lane 5, Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial. Lane 3, Jamie Manns of Fairbury. Over the second to last, now the last. That's a close race to try to make it to the finals between Swoboda and Guerin. Surely both of those will be into the finals later on this afternoon.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go to Terry again now.
Alright. We're back.
What?
That was in one. I thought they were going to do 2, 3, and then give one a break. First 2 events went great.
Wonderful weather we're having.
What, you don't want to be stuck on the boat?
Oh yeah. I don't know. Are they going?
Just go fast.
We'll talk.
I don't think
So heat 3
they're still set.
is going into the blocks. They're going to let heat 1 redo their race after this one. So heat 3 looks like Shelby Hine of David City in lane 1. Sam Cosart of Milford in lane 2. Janessa Swanda of Fairbury in lane 3. Lily Cast of Centennial in lane 4. Sydney Hovel of Thayer Central in 5. Mavis Hansen of Milford in 6. And J.C. Stewart of Centennial in lane 7. Those are the girls in the third heat. And again, we will be rerunning Heat 1 after we discovered after the race was over that a row of hurdles was set on the incorrect mark. Again, we're running these with the wind, so that's backwards on the track, and it's not the same start line as it is a finish line normally. So, Heat 3 is rolling down. That's Lily Cast of Centennial. Out strong on the start. The race is for second. That's Janessa Swanda of Fairbury. In second, Thayer Central, Sydney Hovel will come across in third. But Lily Cast is your heat race winner in heat number 3. And now we'll go back to the top for heat 1 again.
Like, how are you gonna know it's not working the next time?
More, because right now you kind of for a little bit cut off the far east.
Second call, 100.
Other than that, you should be fine.
100 what? Yeah, just start launching all this.
So again, these are the prelims now for the 100-meter hurdles. Then we'll reset them for the guys to do the 110s. Going on currently, the only field event that didn't get contested on Saturday was the pole vault because of the conditions, and they made that call early in the day on Saturday. That pole vault was not going to happen with 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Today, not quite so bad, so the pole vaulter said, yeah, let's give it a go, and so pole vault being contested today. And we will get you those results as they come across for us. But we're going to do Heat 1 again for the girls' 100-meter hurdles.
Thank you for your service. I don't know. You must have fixed something. Oh, no, dude, we still got a lady. I don't think I'd be shooting your gun.
So again, this field here in the 100-meter hurdles, Heat 1, even though it's the fourth one that we've done. Ashley Brown of Heartland in lane 1, Claire Thompson of Wilbur-Claytonia in 2, J.L. Johnson of Fairbury in 3, Kylie Baumert of Sutton in 4, Kate Grease of Sutton in 5, Nevaeh Honea of Wilbur-Claytonia in 6, and Lily Eichmeyer of David City in lane 7. First time they went, Kate Grease had a nice lead before stumbling over the second-to-last hurdle. And this time it's Kylie Baumert, who ended up winning anyway, but she has a nice start. And Baumert looking good, and she is over the last hurdle. So Kylie Baumert wins the event, or wins the heat again, with this time Kate Grease coming in second. So a reset of the hurdles, and while they do that, we can check out the boys' triple jump from Saturday.
Boys triple jump now. Michael Polium of Wilbur-Claytonia went 38 feet 7 inches. He would finish in 6th place. Andrew Heinrichs of Thayer Central, 39 feet 4 inches. Also, Christian Faz of David City, 39 feet 4 inches. In 3rd place, though, it was Mason Combs of Wilbur-Claytonia, 39 feet 7 inches for him. Your runner-up was Isaac Robertson from Fairbury. Isaac went 39 feet 9 inches, but he was beaten out by the ever-so-slim margin of just 1 inch, because coming up you're going to see the winning jump from Carter Ossian of David City, 39 feet 10 inches. This is Robertson from Fairbury, again 39.9, but Ossian of David City, 39 feet 10 inches. At least I hope this is Carter on the video, and he is your SNC champion.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, And I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
So we're getting ready for Heat 1 of 3 for the boys, 110 hurdles now. And we've got Wyatt Ellers of Centennial in lane 2, Peyton Johansson of Centennial in 3, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury in 4, Philip Price of Thayer Central in 5, Alex Buxton of Fairbury in 6, and Paxton Olson of Sutton in lane 7. That is Heat 1 of 3 for the guys. The fastest runner in this by seed time, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury with a 15.67, his best time. Mason Zimmerman is in the second heat at 15.45, and Kyle Baumert of Sutton 15.11, your fastest seed time coming in. So spread all of the best times out. That's what they've done so far as we get the guys 110 hurdles set. Again, these are prelims now. We've got the boys pole vault is the only field event going right now. We got the rest of them, except for girls pole vault, done on Saturday. And the cheer, I think the biggest cheer of the day on Saturday was when the announcement came that we would not be running any of the running events. And I think all the kids were like, all right, let's get this field event over and let's go home. Nobody wanted to be out and about in the weather that was on Saturday. So, Heat 1 of 3 for the boys, 110 hurdles. Lane 2, Wyatt Ellers of Centennial. Lane 3, Peyton Johansson of Centennial. Lane 3, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury. That's your fastest time coming in. Then it's Philip Price of Thayer Central, Alex Buxton of Fairbury in lane 6, and Paxton Olson of Sutton in 7. But it is Dylan Weichel of Fairbury with the fastest seed time and the fastest time in the prelims. So the second heat race of 3 for the boys 110 hurdles. Michael Polium of Wilbur Claytonia will be in lane 2. Jared Neunenkamp of Heartland in 3. Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia in 4. Colton Rezebek of Wilbur Claytonia in 5. Dylan Vadichka of David City in 6. And Luke Searley of Sandy Creek in lane 7. That is heat 2 of 3 for the boys 110 hurdles. The sun is out, just a few high clouds out there. It's still cool, it's still very windy, but it's a whole lot better than what it was on Saturday. So heat 2 of 3 for the prelims of the boys 110 hurdles going into the blocks. Your fastest seed time, Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia, a 15.45. Mason is in lane 4. Colton Rezebek, his teammate, in lane 5, currently second. Heartland's Jared Neunenkamp third, followed by Dylan Vadichka of David City. That's how they will come across in 1, 2, 3, 4. Michael Pulliam of Wilbur Claytonia comes across there in 6th.
Second call, boys 100-meter dash. And first call, 400-meter dash, girls.
So heat 3 of 3 for the boys 110 hurdles coming up next. In lane 1, Sandy Creek's Zach Brenforder. Dane Miller of Superior in lane 2. Colin Pining of Milford in lane 3. Kyle Baumert of Sutton in lane 4. Will Saunders of Centennial in lane 5. Colton Stark of Fairbury in lane 6. And Joe Heinrichs of Sutton in lane 7. So again, after this heat race, we will be on to the prelims for the 100-meter dash for both the girls and the boys, and then the finals for the 400 will be coming up after that.
He's running across the field.
There he goes.
Putt jog. Where's Mindy? Hey, do you see Mindy? Bird? Yeah.
She's right in front of us.
Sitting.
No, she's out on the track right by Elena. She's like in front of Elena.
Yeah, she's about the middle of the track
Elena
with
and
Elena Peening
And Taylor Stelling.
and Taylor Stelling.
And Miss Beck. No, it's not her. That Dawn Beck.
Who? No, she moved away.
I thought she did. I haven't seen her in a long time.
So heat 3 going into the blocks for the boys, 110 hurdles. Kyle Baumert, fastest time in the heat and of all the prelim times of 15.11 before today.
Who we were looking for?
He is in lane 4. Baumert out strong, smooth over the top of those hurdles. Second place, Will Saunders of Centennial. And that's how they will finish 1 and 2. Third place went to Colin Pining of Milford, who was in lane 3. So that is how they finish up for the
Side of the track.
prelims of the 110 hurdles. We've got the prelims of the 100-meter dash coming up very soon. They'll get the hurdles cleared off. That gives us a little break. We'll come back after this.
Here's real advice about parenting from some real Lincoln parents.
You need to listen a little more. Talk a little less. Let your kids bring ideas.
Constant communication and consistency makes it work.
The role of parents can make or break the future of a child.
Yes, there's a parenting style that really is proven to reduce drinking in teens. Learn all about it at talkaboutalcohol.org.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
All right, so we're getting ready for Heat 1 of 4 for the girls' 100-meter dash prelims. In Lane 1, Fairbury's Darby Paulson. In Lane 2, Logan Majors of Sutton. Maya Couch of David City in 3. Olivia Casper of Heartland. Lane 4, fastest seed time in the prelims. Jamie Human of Thayer Central in Lane 5. Vanessa Lukes of Fillmore Central in 6. But that is Olivia Casper of Heartland taking the heat victory. Tori Likens of Fairbury was in Lane 8. Megan Tinsley of Wilbur Claytonia in 7. So that was Heat 1 of 4. So Heat 2 of 4 will be next up on the track. In Lane 1, Shelby Timmerman of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 2, Marin Martin of Sandy Creek. Lane 3, Jessica Hollist of Milford. Lane 4, Sydney Stelling of Milford. Lane 5, Lexus Prohaska of Centennial. Lane 6, Rihanna Wilhelm of Heartland. In Lane 7, Morgan Langford of Centennial. And in Lane 8, Chloe Hintz of Thayer Central. Fastest seed time in this race, Sydney Stelling of Milford with a 13.29, and Alexis Prohaska of Centennial second at 13.6. Again, these are prelims, the second heat of 4 for the girls' 100-meter dash. Timmerman in 1, Martin in 2, Hollist in 3, Stelling in 4, Prohaska in 5, Wilhelm in 6, Langford in 7, and Hintz in 8. Sydney Stelling of Milford out front in this one. Prohaska of Centennial giving chase. Wilhelm of Heartland with a strong race as well. And we will have to check and see who was in the finals later on today. But that was a good race there for second and third between Prohaska and Wilhelm. So that will bring us to Heat 3 of 4 for the girls' 100-meter dash. In Lane 1, Takaylin Herget of Thayer Central. Lane 2, Jaden Stevens of Sutton. McKenna Stutzman of Milford in Lane 3. Danny Freeman of Superior, fastest seed time of 13.24. She is in Lane 4. Kaylee Bautista of Sutton in Lane 5. Chaylee Tonages of Centennial in 6. Kaylee Wedgen of Heartland in 7. And Ellie Bank of Superior in Lane 8.
Boys 4x8 is Thayer Central.
No, it's fine because you're taking way too long. Yep.
Oh, yes. Trying to file it away already. You're never that organized. I should have known something was wrong.
And then after this, final second first.
And an illegal start in Lane 5 for Callie Bautista. Or at least that's where our starter walked right to was Lane 5. And, yep, the exit for Batista. So we reset everything without Batista in 5. Danny Freeman, your fastest seed time of Superior in lane 4. Lane 3, that's McKenna Stutzman of Milford that got a great start, riding that tailwind behind her. Kaylee Wetjen of Heartland in lane 7, though, is running in 3rd. That was a good finish. Freeman from Superior does come up with a victory, but Stutzman right off of her hip. So that was heat 3 of 4. So your final heat race is coming up next.
Girls 400-meter dash, and first call boys 400-meter dash.
In lane 1 from Wilbur Claytonia and Dubai. In lane 2, Aaron Bruning of Sandy Creek. Lane 3, Neely Burns of David City. Lane 4, Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. Lane 5, Cora DeBoer of Fairbury. In lane 6, Avis Kocha of Fillmore Central. And in lane 7, Claire Kimbrough of Fillmore Central. Fastest seed time coming into today, the 13.10 of Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. She will be in lane 4.
Like all the finals, like are supposed to be during the break or something? I don't know.
No, like that? Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
No, like you can just do it whenever.
Okay.
But it's not like you're bored or anything, are you?
Really, it wasn't the fastest. How'd that go from second to? Oh, yeah. Second and David said. Yeah.
Final prelim for the girls 100-meter dash.
Oh boy, we're about to.
Whoop. Lane 3, Neely Burns came out of the stance awful quick that time.
I think that's a pretty call.
Hello.
So another reset here for
And she has a pretty fast
heat number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Bye.
Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek, your fastest seed time of the entire event. She is well out in front here in the 4th heat race. Second place went to Fairbury's Cora DeBoer, Fillmore Central's Avis Kocha in 3rd. So now we're on to the guys. First of 4 heat races for the 100-meter dash. A reminder that our schedule coming up after the 100-meter prelims will go into finals of the 400 for the girls and the boys, and then the finals of the 3,200 before we wrap up our prelims with the 200-meter dash prelims.
Brooklyn Guran. In lane 4, Kylie Baumert. In lane 5, Macy Svoboda. In lane 6, Lily Cass. In lane 7, Jael Johnson. And in lane 8,
Well, we do know who is in the finals of the 100 hurdles for the girls later on today. Janessa Swanda of Fairbury will be in 1. Kate Grease of Sutton got the, took advantage of having to run the race a second time. She will be in lane 2. Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial will be in 3. Kylie Baumert had the fastest seed time at 16.66. She'll be in 4. Macy Swoboda, Lily Cass, Jael Johnson, and Jamie Manns will be in that race. This is Heat 1 for the boys 100-meter dash. That is Centennial's Max Tomes and Wilbur Claytonia's Lucas Jacobson. That were the first two across the line. Max had a seed time of 11.65. Luke with an 11.79 on the prelims.
In lane 1, Colin Keening. In lane 2,
so Heat 2 for the guys. Lane 1 will be Cade Hauk of Milford. Lane 2, James Grease of Sutton. Lane 3, Aiden Shook of Milford. Lane 4, Tad Moldenhauer of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 5, Jackson Perrion of Sutton. Lane 6, Hunter Burns of David City. Lane 7, Nolan Bear of Heartland, and Jordan Brown of Superior in lane 8. Again, this is Heat 2 of 4 for the boys 100-meter dash.
Sometimes I'll miss her. What's happening? I really don't. I care about fishing.
Zoomed in on some random kid.
The fastest seed time coming in for this heat, Tad Moldenhauer of Wilbur Claytonia with an 11.62. Jackson Perrion of Sutton an 11.82.
I'll get stretched out though before I reel in the line.
A good tailwind behind the runners today. They are running with the wind from north to south. That's why we put our camera for the sprints at the south end of the grandstand to give us the best view of the finish for those sprints anyway. Perrion and Moldenhauer in 5 and 4, respectively. A very fast heat. Jackson Perrion looked like he might have had a shoulder just ahead of Tad Moldenhauer. They're in heat race number 2.
McQueno Learman needs to report.
In heat 3 of 4 for the boys 100-meter dash. On the prelims, we've got James Escamilla of David City in lane 1, Jack McKay of David City in 2, Luke Weedle of Thayer Central in 3, Hunter Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia in 4, Dominic Stewart of Thayer Central in 5, Jacob Rogers of Sutton in 6, and Chance Odmanson of Fairbury in lane 7. That's how they will line up for heat 3 of 4 for the boys 100-meter dash.
McQueno Learman of Fairbury, please report.
Well, once again, we could get you a headset if it make you feel special. Just like a random disconnected headset.
Do you guys need anything? I'm gonna go down.
I'm good.
We're good.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yep, for now. H2O.
I'll be right back.
Dinner time. Still beer.
You don't want to video the 2 line.
I really don't know. You doing it? Dude, you should, man. Like, that is great money. Plus, isn't it Malcolm?
Heat 3 of 4 in the blocks for the boys 100-meter dash. Hunter Cherveny in lane 4 from Wilbur Claytonia, your fastest seed time coming in, and there goes Hunter. Jacob Rogers of Sutton with a strong race. And Luke Weedle of Thayer Central, somewhere in that top 3. We will check and see who makes finals later on.
Watching one of the kids' facial expressions. Okay, we should probably do second, boys 400, and first. What are you?
So the final heat race for the boys 100-meter dash will line up like this. Mike Knisley of Centennial in lane 1. Noah Monroe of Fillmore Central in lane 2. Carson Richters of Centennial in 3. Taryn Zoltanko of Superior in lane 4. Hayden Luttrell of Thayer Central in 5. Cale Wetjen of Heartland in 6. And Parker Sintek of Sandy Creek in lane 7. That's how they line up for heat 4 of 4 for the boys 100-meter dash. That means the finals of the 400 meters. We'll have the girls followed by the boys. That's coming up next. Fastest seed time in this race, Zoltanko of Superior. He is out front right now with Thayer Central's Hayden Luttrell right on his hip, though. Those two go 1 and 2, and that's the 4th heat race. So the finals of the girls' 400-meter dash is coming up. We're going to take a short commercial break, though, and come right back to Milford High School and the SNC Track Meet.
Here's real advice about parenting from some real Lincoln parents.
You need to listen a little more, talk a little less. Let your kids bring ideas.
Constant communication and consistency makes it work.
The role of parents can make or break the future of a child.
Yes, there's a parenting style that really is proven to reduce drinking in teens. Learn all about it at talkaboutalcohol.org.
So we get set for the first of 3 sections of the finals of the girls 400-meter dash. Since we've got to run all the way around the track in our own lane and there's no cutting in, we've got to be able to split all of this up. So the first of 3 heats, but we're scoring as finals for the girls. In lane 3 is Superior's Kaya Hodges, lane 4 Sandy Creek's Lillian Cox, and lane 5 Wilbur Claytonia's Ashley Klein. All 3 of these girls with a seed time of 1:20 for the 400.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be sitting here for a while. Yes.
Why wouldn't we?
Because it takes too long.
Have you been to a track meet?
Announcement. We are not going to be doing the 32.
We will not be doing the 32 simply because I don't want to.
Ashley Klein of Wilbur Claytonia
I apologize for
down the front stretch.
After they start this next one, then you have girls on board.
Then you've got lane 3 Kaya Hodges of Superior and Lillian Cox of Sandy Creek. Again, this is the first of 3 sections for the finals of the 400 meters. So that will bring up section 2. In lane 1, Timberly Carr of Heartland. Lane 2, Alexa Cox of Superior. In lane 3, Brianna Nolte of Fairbury. In lane 4, Regan Vavracek of Sutton. In lane 5, Aslim Martinez of Wilbur Claytonia. In lane 6, Grayson Fellhofer of Centennial. In lane 7, Laura Chavat of Fillmore Central.
In lane 7, Jane Human. And in lane 8, Cora DeBoer.
Yeah, the boars.
So this is section 2 of the finals of the girls 400-meter dash. Section 2 of 3. We have 4 sections of the boys 400 meters. Again, your field, Timberly Carr of Heartland in 1, Alexa Cox of Superior in 2, Brianna Nolte of Fairbury in 3, Regan Vavracek of Sutton in 4, Aslam of Martinez of Wilbur Claytonia, Grayson Fellhofer of Centennial in 6, and Laura Chavat of Fillmore Central in lane 7. One time around for the 400 meters. The wind doesn't look like it's as bad as it was earlier.
It was supposed to go
It was supposed to go down throughout the day.
and it looks like it
So it's still 15 miles an hour, but it's not 20 or 25 like it was earlier. So we have that going for us.
What?
How are you taking care of?
I was supposed to put a trash can by the finish line, but apparently that marshal's on it already.
Oh, is that what he was waving for?
Yeah. That was
Lane 4, Sutton's Regan Vavracek has your fastest seed time in this heat of 1:09.92. The next 4 racers within a second of each other.
no, that's not our job.
I'll be out of here.
Yep. First people here, first people leave.
I
Ashlyn Martinez of Wilbur Claytonia with a strong start. And as they hit the corner, the final 100 meters. And it is Martinez of Wilbur Claytonia who parlayed a strong start, looking to parlay it into a heat victory. Grayson Fellhofer of Wilbur Claytonia currently second, but it will be Martinez in about a minute 7, really unofficially because it's just on my phone and I'm all the way up here, not the official timer, but about a minute 7 for Martinez. She was had a seed time of a minute 11, so a good run there for Aislinn Martinez, the fastest time of Heat 2, but we've got another heat, or section if you will. So the third section of the 400-meter dash finals features all 8 runners with a seed time faster than the minute 9 we just saw. In lane 1, Thayer Central's Chloe Sourdike. Lane 2, Milford's Caitlin Adams. In lane 3, Sutton's Davy Perrion. Lane 4, Sarah Huss of Fairbury. Oh, by the way, yes, that's the Sarah that won the girls' discus on Saturday. Jenna Hines of Sandy Creek in lane 5. Kate Hirschfeld of Centennial in 6. McQuenna Learman of Fairbury in 7. And Marin Martin of Sandy Creek in lane 8. So again, this is the fast heat, if you will, of the 3 sections of the girls' 400-meter dash. These are the finals. So this your fast heat. You would expect your event winner to come from this heat. Again, we'll have the boys' 400-meter dash finals coming up, followed by the 3,200-meter run. That was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. We're going to be pretty close to that. A reminder, though, that the break for today will not be 45 minutes. So we were told it's going to be about 10 minutes or so, just to double-check that the finals, the participants of the finals are squared away and everybody knows what they're doing. But not a 45-minute break, but about a 10-minute break. That should start around 2:55.
Because it's Blue River League, right? Because there was never a time we had 3 umps on the field. So that means one of you's got to be sitting in air conditioning for a game.
So here we go for the third section of the 400 meters for the girls. Again, your fastest seed time, Sarah Huss of Fairbury in lane 4. She has a fantastic start going through that first curve and has already made up all of the stagger and then some. In fact, she's going to be leading this race before they hit 200 meters to go. So Sarah Huss, white top, black leggings, and the neon yellow shoes, burning around the south end of the track, and then we'll turn back into that northwest wind. With 100 meters to go at 43 seconds. So it's Huss in first. The race is on for second between Sutton's Perrion and Centennial's Hirschfeld. That will be the way to watch. Huss bearing down a little bit at the end, but very unofficially at a minute 1 for Sarah Huss, and a second-place finish for Sutton's Davy Perrion. Just does hold off Kate Hirschfeld of Centennial in the 400 meters. So now we move on to the guys here momentarily. Actually, before we do that, why don't we check in with results yesterday from the girls high jump? And give me just a second here, Owen. the girls' high jump. Let's take a look at it. From Saturday, 6th place went to McKenna Learman of Fairbury. 5th place, Marissa Walker of Milford. 3rd place, a tie for 3rd between Rihanna Wilhelm of Heartland and Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial. You're getting a look, though, at Chloe Kolb of Milford, who was 2nd, and Chloe Sourdyke of Thayer Central, who came home in 1st. Now, they both cleared 5-1, but had to come back down by an inch each time because they could not clear beyond that, and Sourdyke actually ended up beating Kolb with that jump that you just saw there. So Chloe Sourdyke of Thayer Central, your winner Saturday in the girls' high jump. So now we'll bring you back for Section 1 of 4 for the boys' 400-meter dash.
Run hard and run far. I'd make a great track coach.
Lane 2, Isaac Hollist of Milford. Lane 3, Trayton Waldmeyer of Thayer Central. Lane 4, Ethan Johnson of Fairbury.
Final call, girls 3,200-meter run.
Macdam of Sandy Creek in Lane 5, and Wyatt Nunn of Fillmore Central in Lane 6. Ethan Johnson of Fairbury, the fastest seed time at 1:02. And this is Macdam of Sandy Creek. That is going to come up with the victory in Section 1. Ethan Johnson of Fairbury in 2nd. Trayton Waldmeyer of Thayer Central in 3rd. In Section 1 of 4. Section 2, scheduled to have Damian Vachuk of Fairbury in Lane 1, Micah Biltoff of Sandy Creek in 2, Clayton Morris of Superior in 3, Cord Spencer of Heartland in 4, Trenton Tice of Superior in 5, Jonathan Zobek of Wilbur Claytonia in 6, Matthew Davis of Sutton in 7, and Sam Von Spreckelson of Sandy Creek in Lane 8. Your 8 runners in Section 2 of 4 for the boys' 400 meters.
Literally at our expense. Like, this is a paid school day. So, yesterday,
Yes. He really needs to win because I want to hear you.
Oh, shot. You're cruel.
Just listen to him. Yes, because
Yeah.
thank you very much. That's a long name. That's why you have to have a first name like Sam.
Von Spreckelson. The safe has to be.
Exactly. You say it fast to be like.
Yeah.
So again, this is Section 2 of 4, all based the finals on times. Your fastest seed time in this race is Cord Spencer of Heartland, followed closely by Clayton Morris of Superior. They are in Spencer in 4 and Morris in Lane 3. And then Superior's Trenton Tice in Lane 5 would be your 3rd fastest seed. And Clayton Morris of Superior is also your is in Lane 3, yeah. And it is the 2 Superior runners going 1 and 2. That is Morris in 3 and Tice in 4. And here comes Wilbur Claytonia's Jonathan Zobek He is going to finish in 4th behind Cord Spencer of Heartland, but Superior goes 1 and 2 with Morris and Tice. So that was Section 2. We move on to Section 3 of 4. Again, finals based on time.
Is having a burger feed behind the concession stand. $5, $3 for just a burger.
Rachel Shively from Milford. Never mind.
In Section 3, Lane 1, we're going to see Darren Hall of David City. Lane 2, Nick Ruth of David City. Trenton Schreihans of Fillmore Central in Lane 3. Tyler Baldwin of Sutton in Lane 4. Dre Heller of Wilbur Claytonia in 5. Brandon Lorenz of Milford, Lane 6. Joshua Queering of Heartland in Lane 7. And Isaiah Kielwitz of Thayer Central in Lane 8. Again, this is Section 3 of 4 for the boys 400-meter dash. Again, we are running 4 heats, but running them as finals. So we should say Section 3 of 4. Zach Koss in Section 4 has the fastest seed time coming in. In fact, everybody in the next race has a faster seed time than even the fastest seed time of Tyler Baldwin in this race. So moving faster and faster as we go through the sections.
Mr. McCall felt sorry for him and
Yep, passed on the grade. Really?
It's just funny. It's the way I said it.
Fine, I'd be having a burger.
it could have been more awkward. Could have been. I'm just.
Lane 4, Sutton's Tyler Baldwin has the fastest seed time in this 400 as they begin their trek.
Is Bealo going to take someone out?
No. So Milford Creek gonna be able to hold that? I don't know.
I doubt it. He's already letting go.
Oh, Country K going for another jump.
Dre Heller of Wilbur Claytonia also with a nice start to his race. He is in Lane 5 in the all-green uniform. But that is Tyler Baldwin of Sutton and Heller of Wilbur Claytonia. A two-man race down the front stretch. This one's going to be close to the lean at the end. Heller in 5, Baldwin in 4, and it will be Tyler Baldwin of Sutton coming home with Section 3 of the 400 meters. So one final heat to go, one final section, I should say, for the 400, and then we'll get on to the finals of the 3,200-meter run. In the finals, and the fast section, if you will, Lane 1, Brandon Henricks of Fairbury. Lane 2, Cade Wiseman of Sutton. Lane 3, Lane Evans of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 4, Zach Koss of Thayer Central. Fastest seed time in the event, 52.32. Lane 5, Clayton Denker of David City. Lane 6, 7, and 8, all Centennial. Crest Meadow in 6, Jackson Hirschfeld in 7, Caleb Horn in 8. Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial, one of the best Bronco athletes in school history. You look at the record board that they've got just near the entrance of the gym, and it's got just about every football receiving record. If he doesn't have it by himself, he shares it with Max Tomes, his classmate, as far as game and season and career receiving records. And you look at the basketball board, and Jackson's got most of those records too. And, oh, by the way, he's pretty good in track as well, taking his talents not too far from home, as he'll be going to school in Seward next year at Concordia to play some basketball for the Bulldogs. This is section 4 of 4, so this your fast heat of the finals of the boys 400-meter dash. And again, lane 4, Zach Koss of Thayer Central, your fastest seed time at 52:32. Running all downwind there on the backstretch. And get one final push just as you go about halfway through this curve. And then a crosswind for about 50 meters, and then headlong back into it. Zach Koss of Thayer Central leading things as they come onto the front stretch. Clayton Denker of David City running second, followed by Chris Meadow of Centennial. And then Wilbur Claytonia's Lane Evans, and that is how they will finish. Koss takes the victory in the 400-meter dash. So we've got two races of the 3,200 meters, followed by the prelims of the 200 before we reach our break. And that break time will be shortened considerably. Originally scheduled to be a 45-minute break. We understand that's going to be about 10 or 15 minutes for today, just to double-check the finals and let some of the 2-milers catch their breath before we get back into the rest of the running events. And again, pole vault going on as we speak. The only field event that was not contested on Saturday. If you missed it when we were talking about it before, Saturday's weather, if you looked outside, well, it wasn't fun for anybody. They called that the pole vault was going to be canceled early in the day on Saturday, with the wind gusts being the way they were. They called that very early in the day, maybe even before teams really arrived here in Milford. But as the day wore on, it became apparent that even the running events were going to be difficult to run in the wind that was happening. And that really was the issue. You know, you can kind of run in cold sometimes, but 45-mile-an-hour winds just can kind of mess with people that in ways that, you know, you want to give kids a good opportunity at times to have a decent day. And Saturday wasn't it. So we're coming back today, and with the postponement of the running events, it actually left it up to the pole vault coaches and the pole vaulters themselves, and they gave it a chance this morning and said, yep, let's go for it. So pole vaulting is back on the schedule, and they are going right now. So we'll get you those results as soon as we have them. But in the starters section for the finals of the girls 3,200, they are about to take off, and off they go. Ashley Crazy of Milford, Tennille Barber of Fillmore Central, Sydney Kinnett of Centennial, Rachel Shively of Milford, Bree Zubek of Wilbur Claytonia, Josephine Blatney of Fairbury, Allison Schaefer of Centennial, Casey Stark of Fairbury, and Mariel Ramos of Fairbury, your runners for the 3,200, your fastest seed times. Crazy of Milford and Blatney of Fairbury, 12:45 and 12:46. So it's Cruzy and Blatney, 1 and 2, as they lead the rest of the pack.
Attention, if you are not a coach or an athlete, please leave the infield.
You have to be an athlete warming up.
If you are not a coach or an athlete warming up, please leave the infield.
Mainly those guys right there. Mainly those guys right there.
Yeah, or that people goes.
Well, I can't tell them.
There's authoritative Matthew Kenyon.
Okay, here we go.
Matt.
We need coaches from Sandy Creek and Centennial to report to the press box.
Matt, you gotta lay down the law. I'm pretty good at that.
And we also need a coach from Heartland to report to the press box as well. Heartland, Centennial, and Sandy Creek, please send a coach to the press box.
So it's done.
Okay, do we need to get there? They're leaving.
No,
The Fairbury people here will.
Well, I think Soyster's telling them to leave.
Doesn't say they're gonna.
Yeah. Has he told them?
Where's Swister?
That's not Soyster.
That's not, no.
Okay, so do I just tell them, hey, Fairbury kids?
Well, look at all they at least got, some of them got up.
They're pointing. I don't know.
Are we supposed to make another announcement about the camps in the infield?
I can do it all day.
Yep. Camps in the infield. Leave.
Okay.
Do you need me to say it?
Maybe.
We need the camps in the infield to please leave.
Jeez.
I don't know how else to say
Okay.
it, dude.
Thanks.
There we go. They're just...
Heartland and Centennial. Girls.
They're literally just sitting there having a potluck or something.
It's a picnic, man.
Matt, you gotta go down there and throw down, let me tell you.
Yeah, Matt, go down there and tell them.
You won it. Yay! Hey!
Okay, wait. Okay, so Heartland won.
So again, in the girls 3200, you're seeing coming down the front stretch, and they've got 5 laps to go after crossing the line here momentarily. Ashley Cruzy of Milford and Josephine Blatney of Fairbury. They have been within a stride of each other for the first 3 laps, and they'll have 5 more to go. They are separated in seed time by just less than a second. About a half second is all that is the separation on the seed time between those two.
The two camps sitting in the
And the problem is we got people down there watching pole vault that are on the infield too. Ask Marty if he wants those to be gone. If I need to
Tell
go
like
down
Mr.
and
Soyster. Tell Mr. Soyster to tell him.
well,
Or
yeah,
someone.
Soyster's probably more
Yeah,
authoritative.
like the PA announcers.
Hey, see if Soyster.
Alright, we got people still watching pole vault from the inside of the field and 2 camps still set up.
No, these might be coaches, but
Well, yeah, those are coaches in lawn
maybe.
chairs.
But
I like those people.
they don't want the kids camping either.
Alright, we're supposed to actually tell them to go move.
Go
So is
down
that
there.
you?
I guess
He's
so.
walking.
Okay.
Okay, he's telling those people.
Yeah, Marty.
Matt's getting depressed because he can't do it all.
I was really looking forward to this moment.
Well, you can still go down and do these.
Alright, here's the mic.
I think Fairbury.
Yeah, those people.
As they come to the front stretch, and we'll have 4 laps down and 4 laps to go. Ashley Cruzy of Milford and Josephine Blatney of Fairbury, your top 2 runners with 4 laps to go.
Zoom luck. Why? Where'd he go?
Final call for the boys 3,200-meter run. Second call for the girls 200-meter dash. First call for the boys 200-meter dash.
I told you to come out here and film for the 2 mile, and you know what we're doing the 2 mile, and you know where you're at not filming. And you know what I'm doing freezing. Fine. You should come out for the, you should do it for the, yeah, you should do it for the boys. Just give me a little break. Since you're such a good guy. Okay. I'll stop giving the audience free entertainment now. Actually, I about lost it.
Josephine Blatney of Fairbury stretching things out as she comes for the final 50 meters and a victory in the 3,200-meter run here at the SNC meet. Second across the line will be Ashley Cruzy of Milford.
Jonathan Olvero from Sutton, please report for the 3,200 meter run.
Getting ready here for the boys, 3,200 meter relay. 16 runners in this heat. Strong start by Damian Stewart from Thayer Central.
Second call for the boys, 200 meter dash.
Hopping out to an early 5 meter, 10 meter lead.
Your hip number.
Again, Damian Stewart pulling out to a huge lead.
The day, 32. Yep. So I figured out what it was doing. It's the focus assist, and so it jumps it hugely, and it's like, no, don't do that. Don't touch that.
Selling tickets.
Eric Liebel in second from Superior. Then we have 2 Centennial runners right in a row in 4th and 5th. And then a larger gap back to Jared Engelman and Fairbury. He's being passed by Carter Roth, Landon Lotzenizer from the Eagles.
Well, is there anything you need from me or anything else?
I don't think so. It's going good. It's going as good as it can.
Damian Stewart from Thayer Central maintaining a 15-meter gap between Eric Liebel behind him in 2nd place.
I definitely like track meets that are not state because nobody cares where you stand, especially when it's Milford.
Right.
You know Brandon?
Yep.
It's like, all right.
Runners about evenly spaced out now. A good 10 to 15 meter gap between each of the first 5 or so runners, except a small battle between Wilbur and Centennial for 3rd.
Thayer Central kids.
They've always had runners.
Yeah.
Distance runners. 800 mile, 2 mile. Always had that.
I feel like Fairbury has had a lot of good runners today, maybe. All right.
They've had a lot of them.
Yeah.
They haven't had, I mean, the Husk girl's pretty good at the 400, but.
Yeah, they just have had a lot. I feel like I keep seeing Fairbury everywhere.
Olivia Casper from Harlan, please report.
just throw them in on a seat and we'll pick it up. I'll call her and she can pick it up at 9:30. All right, thank you. Bye.
Shaylee Bloom from Wilbur Claytonia needs to report as well. Shaylee Bloom. We need coaches from Heartland and Superior to report to the press box, please. Coaches from Heartland and Superior, please report to the press box. Cassandra Hergott and Jamie Human from Thayer Central need to report as well. Grace Sourdyke from Thayer Central needs to report. Grace Sourdyke from Thayer Central, please report.
With 1 lap remaining, we have Damian Stewart leading, but Eric Leibel is catching up to him at one point. What was a
We need a coach
20-meter
from Sandy
lead?
Creek, Fairbury, and Wilbur
Actually now
Claytonia to
growing
please
as
report to the press
Damian
box.
Stewart has
A coach from
increased
Sandy
his
Creek,
pace,
Fairbury,
and
and
Eric
Wilbur.
Leibel
Thank
slowed
you.
down. Battle for second place with Wilbur Claytonia coming around the outside of Eric Leibel.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together.
All right, we are back and just about ready to get into our final prelim event before our break, so we're actually doing pretty well. We're just about right on schedule, to be honest with you, and hoping to that break will not be 45 minutes as previously thought, that they are actually going to shorten that break to about 10 or 15 minutes so that we can kind of roll through the rest of the day a little quicker. It looks like girls pole vault is now going through their warm-up, so it looks like the guys are done. So as soon as we get the boys pole vault results, we will let you know how they all came out. But they're having the meeting right now for the 200-meter dash prelims, and again, we are doing heats to go into finals of the 200. And so on heat 1 of 4, we will expect to see Marilyn Whitaker of Sandy Creek, Morgan Langford of Centennial, Aline Savanavong of Wilbur-Claytonia, Olivia Casper of Heartland, Maya Couch of David City, Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur-Claytonia, Vanessa Lucas of Fillmore Central, and Mackenzie Hansen of Superior will be in that first prelim heat. So we're going to, I believe they are going to let them start basically in what you would consider turn 1, I guess, and finish on the backstretch. That's where that's where some timers have gone. I don't see, about the only thing I don't see over there is a camera, so perhaps some hand timing for the 200 meters.
And Justin Hansen from Sandy Creek, please report.
But again, the 200 meters, the final prelim event, and then our break, and then on with the rest of the finals for the day.
Last call for the boys 200-meter dash. Down on the infield.
Okay, so the 200-meter prelims, heat 1 of 4, Marilyn Whitaker of Sandy Creek in lane 1, Morgan Langford of Centennial lane 2, Aline Savanavong of Wilbur-Claytonia in 3, Olivia Casper of Heartland in 4, Maya Couch of David City in lane 5, Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur-Claytonia in 6, Vanessa Lucas of Fillmore Central in 7, Mackenzie Hansen of Superior in lane 8. This is heat 1 of 4. For the girls 200-meter dash prelims, running the curve to the north and then finishing on the backstretch. So these are hand-timed for the 200-meter prelims. So a little extra work without the automated timing to go there on the backstretch, since they already have 2 of the cameras, one set up at the south end on the front stretch and the other set up at the north end on the front stretch. Off and running here, heat 1 of 4. Your fastest seed time in lane 4 is Olivia Casper of Heartland with a 27.87. And that is Olivia, that is up front. This is why we bring the binoculars for a day like this. Second place out there is Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur-Claytonia in second, but it's Heartland's Olivia Casper that comes up with the victory here in heat number 1. And we do have the final results from the boys' pole vault that was concluded and wrapped up just a little while ago. The girls are warming up right now. Had a three-way tie for sixth between Connor Crumblis of Sandy Creek, Peyton Furmanek of Fairbury, and Colton Rezebek of Wilbur-Claytonia. They all cleared 10-6. Colton will go home with the sixth-place medal from today. In fifth place was Connor Nunn of Fillmore Central, cleared 11 feet. A tie for third between Maverick Hebner of Heartland and Owen Sullivan of Superior. In second place was Cade Hauk of Milford. Michael Pulliam of Wilbur-Claytonia with the victory, though 13 feet 6 inches, his best mark. So 13.6 for Pulliam and a victory. Through 8 scored events for the guys then, Centennial leading the team race with 46 points. Wilbur-Claytonia is second with 44.3. David City is third with 26. Sutton is fourth with 23. Thayer Central is fifth with 22. Milford is sixth with 20, along with Fillmore Central with 20 points as well. Superior has 15. Fairbury is eighth with 19 and a third. Superior is ninth with 15 points. Sandy Creek is 10th, and Heartland in 11th. So ready now for Heat 2 of 4 for the girls' 200-meter dash prelims. In Lane 1, Claire Kimbrough of Fillmore Central. Lane 2, Jaden Stevens of Sutton. Lane 3, Cora DeBoer of Fairbury. Lane 4, McKenna Learman of Fairbury. Lane 5, Sydney Stelling of Milford. Lane 6, McKenna Stutzman of Milford. Lane 7, Alexa Cox of Superior. And Lane 8, Abby Rivera of Sandy Creek. Your fastest seed time in Lane 4, Fairbury's McKenna Learman with a 27.46. McKenna Learman of Fairbury. Lane 4 is out strong. Sydney Stelling of Milford giving chase in second, but it is Learman of Fairbury with the victory there in Heat 2. So on to the finals for McKenna, and we will see who else will join her in the finals with 2 more heats yet to go. So in Heat 3 of 4, Cassandra Herget of Thayer Central will start in Lane 1. Ashlyn Peterson of Milford in Lane 2. Lexus Prohaska of Centennial in Lane 3. Sarah Huss of Fairbury, Lane 4, fastest seed time at 27.17. Jamie Human of Thayer Central in Lane 5. Brianna Wilhelm of Heartland in Lane 6. And Ella Friesen of Heartland in Lane 7. Those are your competitors for the 200-meter dash prelims. We also have the finals of the boys 400-meter dash with times. Dre Heller of Wilbur-Claytonia finished in 6th in 56.28. Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial was 5th, 54.87. Lane Evans of Wilbur-Claytonia was 4th, 54.66. Chris Meadow of Centennial was 3rd, 53.78. In second was Clayton Denker of David City, 52.67. And Zach Koss of Thayer Central, 52.3. His best time, and that is the finals of the 400-meter dash for the guys. So with 9 events scored now, Wilbur-Claytonia with 52 and a third points. Centennial is second with 50. Thayer Central third with 32. David City is fourth with 26. So a little separation for Wilbur-Claytonia and Centennial through 9 events. So the girls, 400 meters, we will get to those after this race. Again, this is Heat 3 of 4 for the girls' 200-meter dash prelims. In Lane 1, it's Herget. Lane 2, Peterson. Lane 3, Prohaska. Lane 4, Huss. Lane 5, Human. Lane 6, Wilhelm. And Lane 7, Friesen. So there goes Sarah Huss in lane 4. The neon yellow shoes standing out. The long stride is standing out as well. Huss going to cruise to the victory in the heat of 3 of 4. And that will bring us to heat 4 coming up momentarily. In the 400, it was Sarah Huss that came up with that victory a little while ago. Sarah ran a 101.6 for the victory. Kate Hirschfeld of Centennial was second in 103.2. I should say 103.02 because in 103.19 was Davy Perrion of Sutton. Finishing in fourth was Jenna Hines of Sandy Creek, a minute 4.71. McQuenna Learman of Fairbury was fifth, 106.31, and Caitlin Adams of Milford was sixth, 107.73 was her time. The girls' standings look like this through 8 events scored. Centennial with 52 points, Fairbury 47. Thayer Central currently third with 33. Milford is fourth with 28. Superior with 25. Fillmore Central with 22. Sandy Creek with 12, Wilbur Claytonia with 10, David City with 8, Sutton with 6, and Heartland with 5. So that brings us to heat 4 of 4 for the 200-meter dash prelims for the girls. In lane 1, we'll see Lydia Rogers of Sutton. Lane 2, Natalie Bloom of David City. Lane 3, Neely Burns of David City. Lane 4, Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. Leah with the fastest seed time of all of the competitors, 26.90. In lane 5, Avis Kocha of Fillmore Central, and Dubai of Wilbur Claytonia in 6th, and in lane 6, I should say, Grace Sourdike of Thayer Central in lane 7. Again, this is the final prelim for the 200-meter dash. Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek, lane 4. Boy, she made up the stagger in the first 60 meters. So it's going to be Hatch by a bunch. The race is for second, and to see if anybody from the heats can join her. Right now it is David City's Neely Burns, who is second. And that is how they will finish. But Leah Hatch with a big finish there on the 200 meters. So that is the 4 prelims of the girls 200 meters. So the boys will be up next. They will also have 4 heats. Before that, though, we will get you the final results from the girls 3,200 meter run earlier today. Josephine Blatney of Fairbury ran a 12:41.15. Ashley Cruzy of Milford finished second in 12 minutes 51.12 seconds. In third was Allison Schaefer of Centennial. Fourth was Tennille Barber of Fillmore Central. Fifth was Mariel Ramos of Fairbury, and sixth was Rachel Shively of Milford. Rachel's time was 14:37.82. Sydney Kennett of Centennial, 14:37.84.
Hurdle setters, please set the hurdles.
So heat 1 of 4 for the guys, 200-meter dash prelims. Justin Hansen of Sandy Creek in lane 1. Seth Furmanek of Fairbury in lane 2. Max Tomes of Centennial in lane 3. Christian Faze of David City in lane 4. Carter Osian of David City in lane 5. Taryn Zoltenko of Superior in lane 6, Jake Bargan of Centennial in 7, and Trace Rowland of Milford in lane 8. This is heat 1 of 4 for the boys' prelims of the 200 meters. Fastest seed time, Christian Faze of David City in 23.96 so far this year. He is in lane 4. And Christian is out well in 4. Max Tomes of Centennial trying to run him down in lane 2. Got David City's Carter Osayan on the outside as well. And hand times for the 200 meters there on the backstretch with the 2 cameras that are used for the finish lines are at the north and south ends of the front stretch. So hand times for the 200 meters, but we'll see what they say when they come back. But Max Tomes and Carter Osayan looked like they both finished just a shoulder ahead of Christian Faze. But exactly was it Max, was it Carter in first or second? We will have to wait and see. Earlier today in the boys' 3,200 meters, it was Damian Stewart of Thayer Central running a 10:51.22, basically led the whole race. Ahead of Tommy Locken of Wilbur Claytoni, who finished second in 10:53.71. Eric Leibel of Superior finished in third, 10:55.90. Ryan Payne of Centennial was fourth. Brayton Jurasic of Sandy Creek was fifth, and Carter Roth of Milford was sixth. So heat 2 of 4 for the boys, 200 meters, getting set to the blocks momentarily. In lane 1, Sven Van Gogh of Superior in lane 1. Cale Wetchen of Heartland in lane 2. Zane Grizzle of Fairbury in 3. Hunter Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia in 4. Carson Richters of Centennial in 5. Brody Kroll of Fairbury in 6. Jeremiah Taylor of Milford in 7. Seth Schnackenberg of Superior in lane 8. Again, this is the second of 4 heat races for the boys' 200 meters. And once we are done with this prelim, we'll be on to a short break. Our live stream will stop for a little bit. And when we come back, we'll be ready for the finals events of the hurdles, the 100 meters, the 800, the 300 hurdles, the 200, the mile, the 4x1, and the 4x4, and we'll be done.
Down in the infield.
Supposed to have a lane 7 on this race, but
It appears everybody's ready, so heat 2 of 4 for the boys' 200-meter dash prelims set to go. Van Goch in 1, Wetchen in 2, Grizzle in 3, Cherveny in 4, Richters in 5, Kroll in 6, Taylor in 7, and Schnackenberg in 8. Fastest seed time, Hunter Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia. And he makes up that stagger in the first 100 meters. Nice run on the inside there in lane 3, Zane Grizzle of Fairbury. And Germany easily winning his heat of the 200 meters. So heat 3 of 4 set to come to the blocks here momentarily. In lane 1 will be Kevin Bird of Thayer Central. Lane 2, Andrew Heinrichs of Thayer Central. Lane 3, Tyler Baldwin of Sutton. Lane 4, Clayton Denker of David City. Lane 5, Lucas Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 6, Noah Monroe of Fillmore Central. Lane 7, Avery Essink of Sandy Creek. And Lane 8, Jason Brockman of Sandy Creek as well. Again, this is heat 3 of 4 for the boys 200-meter dash prelims. These are the final 2 races before a short break, and we'll get back into the rest of the events and the rest of the finals on the way.
Down on the infield.
So again, heat 3 for the boys 200-meter prelims. In lane 1 is Bird, lane 2 Heinrichs, lane 3 Baldwin, lane 4 Denker, lane 5 Jacobson, lane 6 Monroe, lane 7 Essink, and lane 8 Brockman. Denker of David City, your fastest seed time, coming in at 23.50. And that is Denker out front, with Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia running in second. But Denker a strong stride as he finishes up ahead of Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia. Andrew Heinrichs of Thayer Central, I believe, came across in third.
In lane 1, Shaylee Bloom. In lane 2, Olivia Casper. In lane 3, Sarah Huss. In lane 4, Leah Hatch. In lane 5, McQuenna Learman. In lane 6, Sydney Stelling. In lane 7, McKenna Stutzman. And in lane 8, Cora Dubert.
So the final heat of the day, the final prelim of the day in the boys 200 meters. In lane 1, we will see Parker Aldrich of Fillmore Central. Lane 2, James Grease of Sutton. Lane 3, Luke Weedle of Thayer Central. Lane 4, Kyle Baumert of Sutton. Lane 5, Tad Moldenhauer of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 6, Maverick Hebner of Heartland. And in lane 7, Colton Monier of Heartland.
Down on the infield.
So again, lane 1, Aldrich. Lane 2, Grease. Lane 3, Weedle. Lane 4, Baumert. Lane 5, Moldenhauer. Lane 6, Hebner. And lane 7, Monier. Baumert in 4 with the fastest prelim time of 23.24. There goes Kyle Baumert. He had the fast time in the 110 hurdles, and he is striding out at the finish of the 200 meters. Again, the 200 meters today will be all hand-timed with the finish there on the backstretch.
Please set the hurdles for the 100 meters.
So we have reached our break for the day. It will not be very long, only 10 or 15 minutes expected, and we will be back for the final races of the day. And you can watch them all here on StriveSports.com. Thanks to Cornerstone Bank, Truck Center Companies, and Region 5 Systems, our title sponsors for broadcasting from the SNC Track meet today. Thanks to Owen and Jackson from Milford are running everything. Nathan from Sutton was supposed to be here, but that was when we were going to do this all on Saturday, and now Nathan had to help with the junior high meet today. And also thanks to Superior for supplying the lower third graphics for the events as well. So a group effort from the SNC schools to make the track meet stream possible. So we'll take a little break as far as the stream. We'll be back for the finals of the races. The first one up, the 100-meter hurdles for the girls. That's coming up.